The 1984 Philippine 10 Sentimo coin holds a meaningful place in the numismatic and historical timeline of the Philippines. While small in face value, this coin reflects a significant era in the country's political, economic, and cultural transformation. Let's explore its full and authentic history. The 1984 Sentimo coin was minted during the final years of President Ferdinand E. Marcos' authoritarian rule under martial law, declared in 1972, lifted in 1981, but with powers still felt into 1984. During this time, the Philippines was under heavy political pressure, civil unrest, and economic instability. The coins minted in this period were part of the so-called Anggi Bagong Lipunan, the new society movement initiated by Marcos. The 1984 Sentimo coin is part of the Flora and Fauna series, introduced in 1983 and continued into the 1990s. This series aimed to celebrate Philippine natural heritage by featuring native animals and plants. It marked a departure from the traditional focus on heroes or political figures. The series symbolized a nationalistic effort to shift attention toward the environment and biodiversity. The obverse side of the 1984 10 Sentimo coin features the Philippine tarsier Tarsius siricta, one of the smallest primates in the world, and an endemic species native to the Philippines. The tarsier represents the country's rich and unique fauna. The words Republika and Pilipinas are inscribed surrounding the tarsier, and the date 1984 appears below. The reverse side bears the coin's denomination, 10 Sentimo, along with the official BSP Bangko Sentral NG Pilipinas logo. The coin's edge is plain. The coin's lightweight and small size made it prone to loss and wear, and many were taken out of circulation over time. The 1984 10 Sentimo was mass-produced, yet due to its low denomination and limited use in daily transactions, many were discarded or went unnoticed. Inflation during the early 1980s reduced the value of low-denomination coins, which led to declining public interest in using coins. Like the 10 Sentimo, the Philippines, in 1984, was in the grip of a debt crisis, rising inflation, and high unemployment. The peso had devalued significantly. Coins of low value such as the 10 Sentimo were barely enough to buy anything. As a result, they were often disregarded by the public, and eventually faded from widespread circulation. As the value of the peso dropped, and with the rise of more valuable coins and notes, the 10 Sentimo lost its purchasing power. By the 1990s, it was rarely used in daily transactions and eventually demonetized by the Bangko Sentral NG Pilipinas BSP during the early 2000s. Despite its small value, the coin played a vital educational role. It was part of many school coin collections and used by teachers to help children learn about Philippine fauna, currency, and national identity. It was also commonly used in religious alms, vending machines, and traditional games. The tarsier on the coin elevated. More history next video. The 1980 Philippine 25 Sentimo coin is a remarkable piece of the country's numismatic and historical journey, minted during a time of political intensity and economic reform. This small yet significant coin reflects the legacy of the Anggi Bagong Lipunan era, a chapter marked by the rule of President Ferdinand E. Marcos and the vision of a new society. In 1980, the Philippines was still under martial law, declared by President Marcos in 1972. His administration pushed the Bagong Lipunan New Society movement, aimed at reforming the country's political, cultural, and economic structures. The monetary system also underwent changes to symbolize this reform. The 1980-5 Sentimo coin was part of this transformation both in symbolism and in actual use. The 1980-5 Sentimo belongs to the Anggi Bagong Lipunan coin series, introduced between 1975 and 1983. This series replaced older coinage and prominently featured historical figures, nationalistic slogans, and modern design elements. The 25 Sentimo coin was minted alongside other denominations like 1, 5, 10, and 50 Sentimo, and 1 peso, all redesigned to reflect the ideals of a disciplined, modernized society. The obverse front side of the coin features the image of Juan Luna, one of the most revered Filipino artists and revolutionaries. His legacy, especially his famous painting Spoliarium, symbolizes Filipino suffering under colonial rule and the fight for independence. Republika NG Pilipinas, Republic of the Philippines, Juan Luna in profile, facing right, 1980, placed prominently below the bust. This coin was durable, affordable to produce, and practical for everyday commerce. Millions of 25 Sentimo coins were produced in 1980 by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Central Bank of the Philippines. The coin was widely circulated and used for small, daily transactions such as bus fares, market goods, and sari-sari store items. The 1980-5 Sentimo coin is more than its monetary value. It reflects the nationalist pride represented by heroes like Juan Luna, the cultural revival of the Bagong Lipunan ideology, the economic aspirations of a developing nation. Juan Luna was more than an artist, he was a political voice through paint. His artworks helped shape the Filipino national identity during the Spanish colonial period. Honoring him on a coin during the martial law era was a nod to patriotic resistance and the power of expression. While not considered extremely rare, uncirculated or mint condition, 1980-5 Sentimo coins can hold collector value. Key factors affecting price include historical completeness as part of a Bagong Lipunan series collection, typical collector value. Coin collectors seek unique flaws. Some known errors for the 1980-25 Sentimo include today. The 25 Sentimo coin is no longer in active circulation, but for collectors and historians, it remains a tangible reminder of a unique period in Philippine history, a time of ambition, ideology, and conflict. Philippine coins like the 1980 25 Sentimo, the 2009 Philippine 25 Sentimo coin may appear modest in size and value, but its story is woven into the rich tapestry of the country's economic, political, and numismatic history. It is a coin that belongs to the BSP series, also known as the New Generation Currency Coin Series. 2009, the Philippine economy was undergoing a transition. The country was recovering from the global financial crisis of 2008, and there was a growing emphasis on modernization and financial stability. Coins like the 25 Sentimo were essential in everyday commerce, especially for small transactions in public transportation, markets, and local stores. The 25 Sentimo coin of 2009 is part of the BSP series introduced in 1995, which featured a cleaner design and bore the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This series replaced the earlier Flora and Fauna series and aimed to standardize coinage while celebrating national identity. The obverse of the 2009 25 Sentimo coin features the denomination 25 Sentimo, the year 2009, the BSP logo, symbolizing the central bank's commitment to economic growth and stability. This marked a significant shift from earlier designs that often depicted Filipino heroes or plants and animals. The use of the BSP logo underscored the institutional authority and modernization of currency. On the reverse side, the coin simply displays the inscription Republika ng Pilipinas, reinforcing national identity. The simplicity of the design was intentional, focusing on clarity, durability, and functionality. Around 17 millimeters, this lightweight composition was cost-efficient for mass production and ensured the coin's durability in circulation. While the 25 Sentimo had a relatively low face value, it played an essential role in microtransactions. It was commonly used to round off prices, pay for jeepney fares, and make small purchases. Despite inflation slowly reducing its purchasing power, it remained relevant in Philippine daily life. The BSP continued minting large quantities of these coins in the 2000s. However, due to hoarding, melting, and natural attrition, many of the earlier years like 2009 have become less visible in daily circulation. Some coin collectors now look for specific years and mint conditions, especially those with error varieties or signs of limited mintage. Though not classified as rare, a 2009 25 Sentimo coin in uncirculated or brilliant condition can be of interest to collectors, especially if it's part of a complete BSP series set. Coins with die errors, double strikes, off-center stamping, or variations in plating may hold greater numismatic value. By 2018, the Philippines transitioned to a new coin series, with updated features such as better security, new denominations, and bolder designs. This shift rendered older coins like the 2009 25 Sentimo gradually obsolete in daily commerce. However, they are still legal tender and accepted in transactions. The 2009 25 Sentimo coin is more than just metal. It symbolizes the 1982 Philippine 25 Sentimo coin is more than just a small denomination of the country's currency. It is a relic of a time marked by political transformation, economic challenges, and national identity shifts during the late years of the Ferdinand Marcos regime. In 1982, the Philippines was still under the dictatorship of President Ferdinand E. Marcos, who had declared martial law in 1972, though it was officially lifted in 1981. Authoritarian control remained strong. The nation was experiencing economic decline, political unrest, and increasing foreign debt. Despite these issues, the government continued promoting national pride and cultural identity through symbols, including coinage. The 198-5 Sentimo coin is part of the Ang Bagong Lipunan, the New Society coin series, which started in 1975. This series was introduced after the declaration of martial law and was meant to reflect the new socio-political order Marcos envisioned. The term Ang Bagong Lipunan was inscribed on the coins as a constant reminder of his New Society program. The obverse of the 1982 25 Sentimo coin features Juan Luna, a celebrated Filipino painter, revolutionary, and patriot. Luna is best known for his painting Spoliarium, which is a symbol of resistance against colonial oppression. By placing Luna on the coin, the government aimed to evoke nationalistic pride and unity, meaning a tribute to art, nationalism, and the intellectuals of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish rule. The reverse side of the coin bears the denomination 25 Sentimo and the year 1982. At the center is the Philippine coat of arms, representing the nation's independence, unity, and sovereignty. Sun with 8 rays, provinces that revolted against Spain. This coin was mass-produced for circulation, making it common during its time, but increasingly harder to find today in mint condition. The 25 Sentimo coin had practical, everyday use, often used for jeepney fares, sari-sari store purchases, and other small transactions. However, as inflation increased over the years, coins of such small denominations slowly lost their purchasing power and significance in daily life. While not rare in circulated form, the 1982 25 Sentimo coin holds historical and nostalgic value for collectors. Coins in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition may fetch higher prices, especially when part of a complete set of the Ang Bagong Lipunan series. The coin stands as a microcosm of the Philippines. During the early 1980s, a nation caught between dictatorship and democracy, between colonial legacy and cultural pride, it remains a silent witness to a nation's struggle for identity and freedom. With the implementation of the BSP coin series in the mid-1990s and the new generation currency and GC series in the 2010s, older coins like the 198-5 Sentimo were gradually demonetized, officially removed from circulation. However, it is still treasured by historians, numismatists, and patriots alike. The 2013 Philippine 10 Sentimo coin may seem modest in value, but it carries a rich and meaningful story, deeply rooted in the Philippines' cultural and economic journey. This coin was part of the new generation currency coin series, NGC, initiated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP, to modernize and standardize the country's circulating coins with enhanced security features, cleaner designs, and national identity symbols. The 10 Sentimo coin traces its lineage back to the early Spanish and American colonial periods when centavo denominations were first introduced. Over the decades, these small denominations played a vital role in the Filipino everyday economy, especially in transportation, small commerce, and rural trade. However, by the 2010s, inflation had greatly reduced their buying power. To adapt to the changing needs of modern society and to prevent counterfeiting, the BSP launched the new generation currency coin series in 2018, but the designs for coins like the 10 Sentimo had already been laid out by 2013. The 2013 10 Sentimo coin features a minimalist and modern design, which marked a stark departure from older, more intricate coinage. It bears the new BSP seal, which was first adopted in 2010. The denomination 10 Sentimo is inscribed clearly at the center. The words Republika ng Pilipinas encircle the upper side, affirming the country's sovereignty and identity. The year 2013 appears at the bottom, indicating the year of minting. The back features the wailing Vanda Sanderiana, an indigenous and endangered orchid species regarded as the queen of Philippine flowers. The plant symbolizes natural beauty and cultural pride. A stylized pattern surrounds the image to blend nature with a modern motif. 2013, the 10 Sentimo coin had limited purchasing power. It was rarely used in urban commerce, but still held practical significance in rural areas and for small-scale transactions like jeepney fares or sari-sari store pricing. the 10 centimo was mainly used for, while the 2013 10 centimo coin was produced in large quantities, making it a common coin. Some clean, uncirculated versions may attract interest from collectors today, especially in full sets of the 2013 coin denominations. Coins with minting errors such as off-center strikes, doubled images, or missing inscriptions may fetch higher prices in numismatic markets, though often overlooked due to its low value. The 201310 Sentimo coin is part of a crucial transitional period in Philippine coinage. It symbolizes the nation's attempt to modernize while preserving cultural heritage, represented by the inclusion of native flora and the use of Filipino language and symbols. The wailing orchid, featured on this coin, also played a part in public education efforts to raise awareness about the environment and endangered species. The Philippine 10 centimo 2013 coin is more than just loose change. The 1994 25 centimo is part of the improved Flora and Fauna series of Philippine coins, which was an enhanced version of the earlier 1983 Flora and Fauna series. This series aimed to promote national heritage and biodiversity, while also modernizing the currency. The obverse of the 1994 25 centimo coin features the profile of Juan Luna, a national hero known for his role in the Philippine Revolution and his outstanding achievements in painting. The inscription, Republika ng Pilipinas, surrounding his portrait. The year 1994 at the bottom. Juan Luna is best remembered for his painting Spoliarium, a masterpiece symbolizing the Filipino struggle under Spanish rule. The reverse side of the coin displays the image of the Philippine crocodile, Crocodilus mindorensis, a critically endangered species endemic to the Philippines. The denomination 25 centimo is prominently shown. The official BSP logo, highlighting the coin's legitimacy. This focus on native wildlife aimed to foster awareness and pride in Philippine biodiversity. The issuance of the 1994 25 centimo came during a time of economic reform and modernization under President Fidel V. Ramos. The country was moving toward liberalization, industrialization, and globalization. The coin also coincided with post-Marcos democratic consolidation, the 1994 ratification of GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, growing advocacy for environmental awareness and conservation. Juan Luna represents national pride, intellect, and resistance. The Philippine crocodile symbolizes both ecological richness and endangered heritage. The small denomination is a reminder of everyday Filipino resilience amid economic change. The Flora and Fauna series, originally launched in 1983, was updated in the early 1990s for better security features, more refined metal quality, enhanced imagery and artistry. The improved Flora and Fauna series ran until 1994 before the introduction of the BSP coin series in 1995, while 25 centimo held small monetary value in 1994. It was widely used for small transactions, jeepney fare, sari-sari store goods, essential in giving exact change in daily commerce. A training tool for children learning currency. Though millions were minted, uncirculated 1994 25 centimo coins are now rare. Coins in brilliant uncirculated blue condition or original mint rolls can fetch collector interest. Errors such as off-center strikes, clipped blankets, or doubled dies increase value. Collectors seek it for completing the 1983-1994 improved Flora and Fauna series. Its representation of a transitional era before the BSP coin series began. The 1994 25 centimo coin is more than just currency. It captures a moment of cultural pride and ecological consciousness. It reflects how currency can educate people about national heroes and wildlife. Its design was among the last to feature such detailed flora and fauna imagery, before more modern designs took over. The 1994 Philippine 25 centimo coin, with its golden hue, Juan Luna's determined